There is a brand new NXT champion. John Cena is on his way back to WWE TV, and Raw scores a record low audience, along with news that there may be another new investor trying to suit TNA Wrestling. All that along with Be the Booker for WWE Payback and more of the fantasy draft. So sit back, relax, and get ready for the longest running wrestling talk show in the world today, right here, right now on My 24 Milwaukee and Fight TV.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report, PrimeTime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts, David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, PrimeTime Saturday night for Saturday, April 30th. Payback Eve, April 30th, 2016. Damian Nelson sitting alongside the losing David Octavius Tiberius, the alleged backyard one-time knockout, straight-edge hardcore Hall of Famer. Hero, how are you this week?
Can you believe we have now gone through 4 months of nonsense and shenanigans with you?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you
4 months of nonsense and shenanigans with me.
You tried taking away my career at Blizzard Brawl, and by doing so, it disallowed me to pick up anyone in the draft for 2.5 months, and I lose on a technicality. You're just cheating.
Fair and honest. I report, you decide.
Lion Damian.
No, I am going to go to Hot News, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, Hot News is brought to you by PWR Feedback Friday, where we did indeed go through round 1 of the 2016 PWR Fantasy Draft. We also responded to your comments about our broadcast from the previous week. You can watch that right now on our YouTube channel at pwrshow.com. That's Feedback Friday.
What a show that was, wasn't it? People saying I've lost my mind.
Well, you did. I mean, you lost it a long time ago.
I don't appreciate the brilliance of the spoken word.
Folks, Samoa Joe is the brand new NXT champion. Joe defeated former champion Finn Balor at an NXT house show last Thursday in Lowell, Massachusetts. Balor was the longest reigning NXT champion with a 292-day reign. Now, footage of the title change was shown on this week's NXT broadcast on the WWE Network, and this title change came along with some comments from Balor that led to speculation and reports that the Demon would be on Raw this past Monday night, which of course was not the case.
What a brilliant way to establish that NXT house shows are now must-see TV.
Yeah.
Or must-see events, because now they've had a title change, and that doesn't usually happen at house shows.
It used to, though, in the old days of WWE.
Well, never a world title. I mean, it could have been the IC title, the tag, or Hogan never won or lost on a house show.
Did he do it on Superstars once?
No, he wrestled.
Once.
You paid, yeah, it was against Rusty Brooks on Memorial Day. I'll never forget that.
Rusty what?
Rusty Brooks.
Oh.
He was like the beach ball.
He played the trombone, didn't he?
Yes. Well, that was his other name.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
So, Samoa Joe's the champion.
Yes.
Surprising. Especially coming off a TakeOver Dallas where he didn't win the title.
So, what do you think meant more to him? The TNA World title or NXT?
NXT.
Because more people
Well, you know what? No, disregard. Samoa Joe was a TNA original.
No, yeah.
So I think winning that title when he did win it,
original.
basically. But I think when he won that title, that probably meant more to him at the time than now. Screw it, the NXT title means more.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, he did it in Lowell, Massachusetts in front of a sold-out house.
Well, how big was the house?
Doesn't matter. Nobody, comparatively speaking, the other company would have.
Well, they don't run house shows.
They did at the time.
Oh, yeah, but nobody showed.
Folks, WWE announced that John Cena will be returning to. Those were malicious, hateful comments you just shared about the TNA you want to see continue, as you said yesterday on Feedback Friday.
So because I speak the truth, they're mean and malicious?
WWE announced that John Cena will be making America great again when he returns to WWE Raw on Memorial Day after a 5-month absence. John Cena, who was expected to be out for 6 to 9 months, tweeted recently that he is, quote-unquote, ready to go. Now, the Memorial Day episode of Raw typically suffers from low holiday ratings, so it will be interesting to see what the return of John Cena brings to the show.
So, how great is that? Because, you know, I'm sure, much like myself, you'll be having the family barbecue that day, and then you guys will be talking about John Cena being back, and, you know, it'll be buzzworthy.
It will be.
What if he's a bad guy?
Oh, come on.
What if he joins the Bullet Club?
John Cena's not going to be heel, not going to be a Bullet Club member.
Can you imagine if he did? He's a good brother, you know.
I'm sorry?
He's a good brother.
What does that mean?
He's a good dude. He's one of the boys. Don't take it any other way than what it was meant to be.
No, I did not understand what you were trying to do there.
You never heard being called a good brother?
No, I've heard being called good people, good person, good man, good soul, good human being.
We need to do another Double D podcast. I need to smarten you up.
Folks, in a follow-up to our report on TNA Wrestling's financial situation on Feedback Friday online last week, PWTorch.com is reporting that ROH owner Sinclair Broadcasting, the owner of this very station, may be interested in investing in the company. Now, Sinclair, which also recently acquired and plans to rebrand the tennis channel on cable, may have the proper resources to make TNA a major player again if they couple the programming with their other owned asset, that being Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Imagine that invasion angle. That could be interesting.
So,
by the way, speaking of invasion, have you seen Rockstar Spud on Snapchat lately?
I have followed Spudleyville on Snapchat, yes.
Interesting stuff, isn't it?
He takes you on the road with him.
Who knew?
Well, he is endorsed, folks. WWE has released an announcer from their team. Former NXT and SmackDown announcer Rich Brennan, remember him, David, is no longer with the company. Brennan started with NXT in 2014 and last interviewed Becky Lynch on an edition of Monday Night Raw's Fallout show online. I thought Brennan was good. For the time he was on SmackDown, the time he was in NXT, he was really, really good, but
yes.
Then put to backstage announcing. He almost went the Todd Phillips route.
Well, be careful how you phrase that. That went a different scenario.
Took a left turn at Albuquerque?
Yes. Yeah, but it just means other opportunities for other people that are there.
Folks, in ratings news this week, TNA sees another increase while WWE Raw falls to its lowest rating of the year since last December, actually.
You know what? I will give TNA credit. They know how to use social media to promote their product. You can watch basically TNA on their Twitter feed.
Do you follow Dixie Carter on Twitter?
No,
at TNA Dixie?
no,
You don't follow Dixie Carter on Twitter?
I don't.
Really? Why not? Aren't you a reporter or an opinionist?
Here's why. Because she always promises hot news and news that will change.
She hasn't done that in like 3 months.
But there never was anything.
TNA Impact drew 322,000 viewers this week for the Sacrifice branded show, which was up almost 6% or 20,000 viewers from last week's showing. That brings
You can
TNA
thank
up
Matt and Jeff Hardy for that.
this week on Sacrifice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they had that big match, and I quit.
I think Bobby Roode's thumbtacks in his back might have had a little bit more to play with that.
I can see why.
Beer money.
Okay.
Isn't it weird?
Listen, here's
It's like Ravishing Rick Rude, but not really.
Bobby. Now I know why he left.
Bobby Roode, Rick Rude.
No, Bobby Roode. Now I know why he left. If you're going to take that bump and those thumbtacks, you better get paid. If not, you got to go.
WWE Raw averaged 3.1 million viewers with a live show from Hartford, Connecticut, site of WrestleMania 11 this week. Down
So it's
another.
safe to say that TNA draws 10% of a WWE audience.
If you combine Raw, SmackDown, it's 5%. Down another 200,000 viewers from last week. It's a total of 400,000 viewers down since the post-Mania Raw.
And I find that interesting because if you think about it, Raw has been heavy Ambrose, AJ, Owens,
They're rebuilding.
Sami Zayn, all the darlings.
They endorse Sami Zayn.
And they're losing
part of the Nelson
viewers.
family.
What does
No,
that
they're
tell
not.
you?
They've lost viewers from the post-Mania bump. A lot of people tune into Raw after Mania to see what happened, and generally, we talked about the Mania rut. They're in it, but they're rebuilding, I think, successfully right now with. And we'll talk about it when we get to Payback and be the booker in a few moments here. But I think they're going through a rebuilding phase, and I think it is a good thing. And I don't think the ratings matter as much as they used to, even though we just reported on it.
Coming up next, we have the final picks of the PWR draft, the Event Center, DHHS, and be the booker for tomorrow's Payback event in Chicago, right here on PrimeTime.
Don't miss your chance to catch the best pro wrestling on the planet. Ring of Honor Wrestling, when the road to Best in the World Tour rolls into Milwaukee on Sunday, June 12th at the Turner Hall Ballroom with a 7 p.m. bell time. Featuring Jay Lethal, the Briscoes, Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and more. Experience body slamming, super kicking, pro wrestling action live. Visit ROHWrestling.com now for tickets and info.
The Soder family thought they'd take a road trip this summer. A little fun, a little sun. What could possibly go wrong? Even under the best driving conditions, semi-trucks can still be dangerous. The results of being in a wreck with 40 tons of steel and speed can be catastrophic. And it only gets worse when you don't have Gruber Law Offices on your side. If you or a loved one has been injured by a semi-truck, call Gruber Law Offices now. One call, that's all.
Welcome back, fans, to the Pro Wrestling Report, prime time Saturday night, Saturday, April 30th, 2016. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero.
You know what I realized? Since we're doing all this draft stuff.
That I'm the star?
And how you
I should be on CNN.
And how you and Abyss took advantage of my kindness. Now, if I really think about it, that was your whole plan, was to win the draft. You guys ruined my trophy. Remember he broke it when he threw you, or... I have nothing left of that legacy.
You have nothing. You have what you started with, pal. You were going to lose. Of course my goal was to win. What do you think I'd do? Enter this draft to lose? That's your job.
It's just a game.
When you lose, it's a game. When you win, it's a profession. And folks, speaking of the draft, let's go into our final two picks. 2016 PWR Fantasy Draft. Let me first review with you the winning team, the recognized symbol of excellence in professional wrestling fantasy drafts.
Where did it go?
The Nelson family, ladies and gentlemen, comprised so far of the following stars: John Cena, Sami Zayn, Enzo and Cass, Charlotte, the women's champion, Finn Balor, Cesaro, the Wyatt family, and the Viper, Randy Orton.
Now, please read out.
Who's on the Mighty Mouse Club?
You have
Your
the
team.
sheet. Can I have my sheet back?
No, you should have taken your own notes so you know who your own team
never
is.
do notes.
If you don't give me that back, I will.
Wait a minute. This isn't my team.
That's the Nelson family.
Oh,
Why don't you read the
my team right here?
subpar team of the
Roman
Super
Reigns,
Friends.
Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Apollo Crews, the Bullet Club, New Day, and Baron Corbin.
I apologize to those 8 talents and or groups, as they will be ruined by their association with the Mighty Mouse Club going forward. But folks, it's time for our final 2 picks. I get 2, you get 2, and it was up to you, David Hero, for the next pick number 9 in the draft. Who shall be your 9th man? Or woman, or child.
I am going to go with the NXT World Heavyweight Champion, Samoa Joe.
Good pick there. Good pick, David. Samoa Joe is your next pick. Now, keep in mind, points are comprised on any WWE Network special, and all talents are qualified to be a part of the scoring process. Ladies and gentlemen, my next pick is going to be Sheamus.
You know what? I can't be mad at that.
Oh, he's singular now.
He has a
League of Nations is no more.
He has a movie coming out. He's got a movie coming out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Bailey.
Bailey?
Yes.
You like to hug? Don't try it.
I'm not going to hug you.
And my number 10 pick goes to the endorsed, also with a movie coming out soon, Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? Hey. You didn't go with The Miz?
No, he doesn't need me anymore.
Or Stardust? You're wearing
He doesn't
Stardust
need me
colors
anymore.
right now. The purple and gold.
I am from the 5th dimension.
How about Dolph Ziggler? I mean, can you imagine Thanksgiving at his house right now?
Why do you say that?
Well, apparently his brother is being looked for. They're trying to find
They
him.
just want to talk to him.
He's being charged.
I thought you were innocent until proven guilty in this country.
That's not really how that works anymore.
Ever since OJ.
Look at Donald Trump.
He's guilty until being proven innocent. Is
What has he
Donald
done
Trump is.
wrong?
Everything. This is not that discussion. Folks, that's the draft, the PWR Fantasy Draft. Find the rest of our picks on yesterday's edition of Feedback Friday on
Why are you
our
getting
YouTube
so
channel.
irritable?
Well, because I'm excited, David Hero, actually,
Yes.
because it's the return of a long-gone segment here on the show.
Yes.
It's time to find out who indeed is your pick for the Diamond of the Ring.
This week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring is one of the super friends of all super friends. Our good, close, personal, longtime friend, Al Snow.
Oh, really?
Dominating on TNA Impact Wrestling.
On Pop TV.
Yes. He's been teaching Grado and Maharaja Shashira.
I'm sorry?
He's teaching these kids respect in the world of pro wrestling.
RESPECT.
And I am proud of what... I don't agree with his attitude and his tone lately because it's not very super friendly, but Al Snow is this week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring, the only place I shop for diamonds. And if I need to make some money, I'll take some gold there too.
Are diamonds a girl's best friend?
Yes.
'Cause you're
You know
certainly
what?
not.
You need to ask Team Pillow Fight. They love diamonds.
Well, with that being said, folks, let's go to this week's Event Center.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by PWRshow.com, where you can subscribe to the PWR Now Network and watch all of our shows on demand. I'm Linda Kay.
And I'm Julie Smith. Ring of Honor Wrestling returns to Milwaukee's Turner Hall on Sunday, June 12th. This is a show you won't want to miss, and tickets are moving incredibly fast for this event. Tickets are available now at papstheater.org.
The Super Friends Fan Fest invades Milwaukee on May 7th and May 8th at the Days Inn Hotel and Suites on South 13th Street. Meet Mean Gene Okerlund, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Bobby Heenan, Al Snow, Melina, Angelina Love, and more at this huge event. Find out more now at superfriendsfanfest.com.
Also on Saturday night, May 7th, MIAW Wrestling will be live at Papa Luigi 2 in South Milwaukee for Bobby the Brain Heenan Night. Tickets will be available at the door for only $15 each.
And that's it for this week's PWR Event Center.
Well, thank you, ladies. David Hero?
Ooh la la, right? You know what, Damien? This week's DWHS, it's about John Cena.
I thought you'd already spoken.
No, I have. I speak a lot. I talk a lot. The spoken word is important to the peoples.
It's important to the Pope.
Yes. John Cena returns Memorial Day. What does that mean for the landscape of pro wrestling? It means eventually John Cena and Roman Reigns will be going nose to nose, belly to belly, bumper to bumper, wrestle rock. And who are the fans going to boo and cheer for? John Cena or Roman Reigns? I think it's going to be great TV. Everyone has booed John Cena. They boo Roman Reigns. But when those two get together, those two dynamic personalities, it's going to be money. It's going to draw. It's going to be probably one of the more entertaining matches because of all the natural heat involved in that match.
Let's fast forward. SummerSlam. Who are the two people on the top of the card?
John Cena
in Brooklyn.
And Roman Reigns.
Really?
Yes.
Could be an interesting dynamic, folks. What about this Payback swerve if he aligns with the Bullet Club? Does that change anything?
That's what I'm hoping for. That's why John Cena has to come and right the wrongs of Roman Reigns to say, what are you doing? And with that, David Hero has spoken.
After the break, PrimeTime continues with Be the Booker for WWE Payback on pay-per-view.
Hey gang, me Gene Okerlund here. Join me, my very dear, close, personal, longtime friend, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and many more at Super Friends Fan Fest on May 7th and May 8th, right here in Milwaukee. Sud City, get ready for the time of your life. Get all the details now at superfriendsfanfest.com.
Claim your cash for the Robert Hack Diamonds $250,000 gold buying event going on now. We're paying top dollar for your gold. Bring in your gold rings, gold chains, gold bracelets, and claim your cash. Bring in your diamond rings, diamond pendants, loose diamonds, and claim your cash. Bring in your state jewelry, your antique jewelry, and heritage jewelry, and claim your cash. It's fast and easy. If we can't beat a competitor's offer on your scrap gold, we'll give you $20 just for trying.
Robert Hack Diamonds. Fingers looking good.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. Primetime Saturday here for April 30th, 2016. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero, and it is time for Be the Booker. And in this segment, we look at tomorrow's WWE Payback event and talk about it match by match and determine who, if this guy were writing the show and had the book, who he would select and who he would give the wins and losses to. Let's first talk about the matchup for the Intercontinental Championship, David Hero. It is going to be The Miz defending against Cesaro. I like that suit gimmick he has now. I want to get one of those.
It's almost like he's a Swiss
Superman.
Chippendale.
Swiss Superman. That's what they've called him.
But he rips the pants off like a Chippendale.
And does Superman not rip his shirt off with one pull?
He goes like this.
But everything came, didn't it?
Why are you arguing? What do you know about Superman?
I know that he is an inferior superstar. He is an inferior superhero to Captain America and Batman. Two real Americans who don't need special powers to do what they do. Yes,
Captain
they are.
America's on the gas. What are you talking about?
He is on super soldier serum. He is a prototype, and he is enhanced at times.
And Batman has a strap-on belt.
Batman and Captain America are human beings.
Okay.
Superman is going to be behind that wall Donald Trump built.
We're talking about BTB. Well,
and we're talking about The Miz versus Cesaro for the Intercontinental Championship in Chicago.
That is going to be because it is going to be the character of The Miz against the Swiss Superman Cesaro.
What are you doing?
This is way laid back. I'm very confused.
Oh, is your mind on your? We can fix that. Whoa. Is your mind on your money and your money on your mind? What did you do to this? Why is it broken? Now, is that better?
Yeah, it looks great, but Maurice is back.
Maurice
is back
Maurice.
with The Miz. And they're the power couple of the company right now, while Stephanie and Triple H are convalescing over his WrestleMania loss. I honestly believe that The Miz is going to lie, cheat, and steal and get the victory over Cesaro. Because you can't put the belt on Miz and bring back Maurice just for a couple weeks. I'm going to go with Miz. Even though he's on Team Nelson family, I want to make sure Miz gets a few points.
I won with him.
You drafted him. He's on your team this year.
He's not on my team this year, you silly fool.
Oh, he's not?
Miz on there? No.
No, I said Cesaro, number 6. Number 6 draft pick.
The Women's Championship will be on the line as Charlotte defends against Natalya Neidhart. Now in Charlotte's corner will be Ric Flair if he can make it through the airport, okay? And
you know what? That
Natty Neidhart.
Because, I saw these online.com reporters saying that he was drunk in the airport.
Pictures and such.
He wasn't. He would have been arrested. You don't put a drunk man on the plane.
I've seen it happen. There's levels of drunk. There's levels of drunk. I've never been drunk boarding a plane.
You know if Ric Flair's drunk, he's Ric Flair drunk. Right?
His daughter Charlotte defends against Natty Neidhart with Bret Hart in her corner.
I think Natty needs this win. Because otherwise...
There's something about her.
Remember when
something about Natty.
Brock Lesnar had his first run as world champion? He wrestled Bob Holly at Royal Rumble? That's kind of the match I feel I have with this, but... I honestly believe Natty is such a great team player that she deserves it. Why do you bring back Bret Hart to lose to the Flairs? Right?
Maybe they feel Natty needs that additional push. Maybe they want to even the odds.
Bret Hart's not going to come back to watch his niece lose.
He just had wrist surgery, and obviously, although
he had more than that.
Previous issues as well. Folks, Enzo and Cass will not be soft, S-A-W-F-T, like him, when they take on the Vaudevillains in the finals of the number 1 contenders tag team tournament
These guys
at Payback
are going
tomorrow.
to steal the show. These two teams.
Chicago's going to love them.
They want to prove that they belong on the main roster. They're going to do everything imaginable. You're going to get all the catchphrases, all the spots, all the moves, everything. It's going to be great. It's going to be entertaining. I'll be honest, it's almost like the draft. It's a coin flip. I don't know who's going to win or lose. Because both teams have a lot of momentum. They're both in the finals of this tournament. But you got to believe that the Vaudevillains are a better matchup for New Day than Enzo and Cass.
Really? Please tell.
So, because you need villains to go against the good. They can, as much as the verbal jarring back and forth between Enzo and Cass and New Day would be, it's 2 babyface tag teams.
Doesn't matter. Crowd's going to be into it either way, at least for their entrances.
If you look at the cosmetic matchup as the Vaudevillains and New Day, it's very entertaining.
It's a high contrast.
Yes. It's like HD in black and white.
Folks, Be the Booker continues here on Primetime. We still have a lot of big matches to talk about. Dean Ambrose, my new friend, Sami Zayn, the endorsed, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and the WWE Championship matchup, all still to discuss. Because we have contractual obligations.
Oh, we got to pay bills.
After this timeout, Primetime continues with more Be the Booker for WWE Payback on pay-per-view.
Ring of Honor Wrestling rolls into Milwaukee on Sunday, June 12th at the Turner Hall Ballroom with a 7 p.m. bell time. Visit ROHWrestling.com now for tickets and info.
Gruber Offices, we understand that when you've been injured, life is tough. That's why we offer so many services for free. First call, free. First consultation, free. Stuck at home or in the hospital? We'll come to you for free. We'll deal with the insurance company for you and get you the help you need. Call Gruber Offices now. We don't get paid until you do, and your first consultation is always free.
Be the Booker continues here on PWR Primetime Saturday night. Thank you for joining us all over the world and, of course, here on our home, My 24 Milwaukee. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. And we've talked about several matches so far, but let's get into the meat of this show, if you will, David Hero, and that is Y2J. Chris Jericho with his scarf and his Christmas tree jacket going up against Dean Ambrose. I liked what they did this past Monday on Raw, but what will they do tomorrow in Chicago at Payback?
You know, it's interesting how Dean Ambrose goes from wrestling Brock Lesnar last month, the month before Triple H. Now he's in there with Y2J, Chris Jericho. It's almost like they're testing him monthly to see if he can elevate to the top match on the card. And Dean Ambrose has been doing a great job, and him and Jericho should have a fantastic match. Jericho coming off a big win over AJ Styles. Ambrose proving he's a tough guy, losing to Brock Lesnar. But you need to jumpstart Ambrose again. He's had a rough past couple months. Dean Ambrose needs to defeat Chris Jericho.
Ladies and gentlemen, late breaking news here on the Pro Wrestling Report. As we talked about earlier, it was the PWR Fantasy Draft yesterday on Feedback Friday as well.
Why are we
I
doing this
hereby
again?
need to make a replacement pick in my draft pick. I had an erroneous pick, and with your permission, I'd like to make that pick right.
What do you mean erroneous pick?
I had an erroneous pick. I picked the wrong person in one instance, and I'd like
You
to
can't
fix
do
that.
that
Why not? The
now.
draft episode is still going on. You see these graphics over here. We're still drafting. It's still open draft. We said it was going to be an open draft. If you want to change it, you can change it as well. But I'm going to pick somebody else because it's an open draft.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to hereby replace. I'd like to replace Sheamus with Dean Ambrose. Now it's official. See?
That's so
And next up, ladies and gentlemen, the endorsed Sami Zayn up against Kevin Owens. I like as well the build for this matchup.
You know what?
I like
Once
the build for
again-
this matchup. What do you mean once again?
Because I
We've
have
got 3
Ambrose
minutes left.
on my
What do-
list, and you scratched
You didn't
it off when I wasn't looking.
You did not
Yes, you did.
touch
That's
your
your
list.
scratch off.
By your own admission
I know
earlier,
the
you
scratch
had
off.
no list of your own.
It's right there.
Okay, show the camera then. Show the camera where I scratched off Ambrose.
Right there. I can't show the rest of my team. They'll steal it.
You've already announced it.
You're a cheater.
I am picking Dean Ambrose here in the open draft. You want to change somebody? You can change them as well. You knew the rules when we went into this, Mr. Trump.
You've changed them. You have all these words with big syllables.
Andy, Linda, Julie, anybody have any tissue? Tissue?
Can we just finish this like
Preferably the kind with the aloe, because his nose is a little rough. Yeah, if you could. We've only got 2 minutes left because you just wasted a minute of it on...
It's because I'm khaki.
Stop arguing with me. You know I have high blood pressure.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens on Team Super Friends. Sami Zayn.
Do you want to change that?
No. I'm confident in my teams. These two guys have had hundreds, if not 1,000 matches with each other. It's going to be fantastic. Sami Zayn needs a big victory over Kevin Owens. Owens is already an established top guy with a victory over John Cena, multi-time champ. But Sami Zayn definitely needs some help, and he'll get it in Chicago. And what better place for Sami Zayn to get the win than in Chicago?
Whoa! Baron Corbin, folks, takes on Dolph Ziggler as well tomorrow.
You know what?
At Payback.
We can just go to the main event.
Baron Corbin wins, and folks, the main event is indeed WWE World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns going one-on-one with AJ Styles.
To be booked.
SmackDown this past Thursday, David Hero, I think, showed us that there is some questioning as to the allegiance of AJ and the Bullet Club, and even perhaps Roman Reigns and the Usos. They left things sort of open-ended going into Payback. So might your scenario of Reigns and the Bullet Club play out?
I would like to believe that the Bullet Club and the Usos will all be involved. But when it's all said and done, the Usos and AJ Styles will be the ones left laying, and Roman Reigns and Anderson and Gallows will be the ones with their hands being raised in victory. And Roman Reigns retains the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And that way, when you boo Roman Reigns, now you can really boo him. Now it means something because he is the villain. And he will be getting X-Pac or Triple H type heat from the late 90s.
Or Jeff Jarrett TNA heat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Folks, let's run it down real quick. Be the booker tomorrow. Payback, Chicago. Miz defeats Cesaro, retains the Intercontinental Championship. Natalya Neidhart becomes the new women's champion, defeating Charlotte. I think that's a harebrained idea, by the way. Enzo and Cass defeats or loses to the Vaudevillains, and they become the #1 contenders. Dean Ambrose, who's on the Nelson family, defeats Y2J. Sami Zayn, who's endorsed, defeats Kevin Owens. Baron Corbin over Ziggler, and Roman Reigns aligns with the Bullet Club to retain his WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We'll be live at Payback tomorrow in Chicago. Follow us on Twitter at PWR Show for updates. Until then, for that one and the ladies, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in here to PWR Prime Time.